Good morning, Boker Tov. If everyone could get seated, if you're a teacher, find a seat with your class. If you're a teacher, if you're a parent, it looks like there's a lot of seats open back there. So if you want to go find a seat, that'd be great. Shh. All right, Boker Tov and Chag Rosh Chodesh Shvat Sameach. Today is the first day of the month of Shvat. And thank you for joining us to honor our namesake, Senesh. The students have been learning in their Judaic studies classes all about Senesh, and they're going to tell you the story of her life, interspersed with some reflections about what her life means to them, as well as tell you a little bit about what they learned. Before we begin, I just want to give a big thank you to our Judaic staff who has brought Hannah's life to, has brought Hannah's memory to life in their classrooms. We are so grateful to all of you.
As we light the yard-side candle in honor of our school's namesake, Senesh, we are grateful that some of the hostages have been returned. We pray for the Israeli soldiers who have been working to protect our homeland and pray that the remaining hostages are released soon. May we soon see peace across the region.
please join us in singing Oseh Shalom together. Oseh Shalom Yimromah, Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'alo Yisrael Imru Amen. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Kita Aleph will now lead us in Eli Eli.
Senesh wrote about her hopes and dreams for Israel and the world in Eli Eli.
These are our hopes and dreams for Israel and the world. We hope for peace, shalom.
Peace, shalom.
We hope for love, ava.
Love, Allah.
We hope for friendship, haverut.
Friendship, havarut.
We hope for happiness, simcha.
Happiness, simcha.
We hope for united and togetherness, achdut.
United and together, achdut.
We're going to sing Eli, Eli together once as a community.
Hannah Senesh. Why is our school named for her? Hannah Senesh was born in Budapest, Hungary on July 17, 1921, to a proud but not very religious Jewish family.
Her father died when she was 6. Hannah was very close to her mother, her brother Giori, and her grandmother Fina Mama.
In 3rd grade, we made Venn diagrams comparing ourselves and Hannah Senesh. Something that Hannah Senesh and I have in common is that we both have been to Israel and we both learn Hebrew. Something different between me and Hannah is that she lived on a kibbutz and I've never lived on a kibbutz.
In 2nd grade, we learned that Hannah Senesh was a Zionist and Chaklait, someone who believed in working the land.
A Zionist is someone who supports Israel as our Jewish nation. It comes from the word Zion, which means Israel and Jerusalem.
Hannah Senesh was a Zionist, and one way to be a Zionist was to make Aliyah.
She joined an agriculture school and worked the land of Palestine, now Israel. She also was part of a youth group that built Kibbutz Sdot Yam. קיבוץ הוא רעיון מיוחד רק לישראל. A kibbutz is a unique Israeli idea. כולם מאמינים ברעיון של עבודת האדמה והרעיון של בניית ארץ ישראל. חברה שמאמינה שכולם שווים ומתחלקים בהכל. It is a community that everyone is equal and should share everything.
I'm going to ask that we hold applause to the very end.
As you can see by our timeline, 4th grade learned the story of Hannah's life and how it coincided with important world events. Here are some events from Hannah's early life. As a teenager, Hannah began to experience the difficulty of growing up as a Jew in Hungary.
A lot of things happened today. Among them, one that is very unpleasant. At the meeting of the Literary Society, I was nominated for office, along with several of my classmates. I was elected, but the Literary Society called for a new election and nominated 2 other girls. This clearly indicated that they did not want a Jew, me that is, to become an officer, which hurts me very much. 2 years later, in 1939, Hannah wrote about the start of World War II.
September 8th, 1939. Much has happened, but I've had neither the time nor the desire to write about it. The war we feared has begun. There is now war between Germany and Poland. The Germans have already captured a large part of Poland and France and England. Poland's allies have entered the war. And now for myself. I received a certificate, and yesterday I also served a visa. I long to leave already, even though a sea journey now is not particularly safe.
In 5th grade Judaic Studies, we watched the documentary Blessed is the Match, the life and death of Hannah Senesh. We learned about the many inspiring moments of Hannah's life and chose one to focus on in a writing project. This quote written in Hannah Senesh's diary guided us.
There are stars whose light reaches the earth when they themselves are gone and no more. There are people whose radiance illuminates when they themselves are gone and no longer among us. These lights, brilliant in the dark of night, they kindle for humanity, the lights along the path. Hannah Senesh.
This quote means to me that you can still make a difference in this world even if you are no longer alive. Hannah Senesh was born in Budapest, Hungary. She was a smart, kind person who fought for what she believed in. I chose how she risked her life to save her mother because it relates to her poem and shows that even if you die, you can still make a difference. This event continues to shine because we still have conflicts that are worth fighting in, even if you might not succeed. It shows us that sometimes you have to make sacrifices for other people. It stands out to me that she stood her ground and did not leak information to the Nazis, no matter how much they threatened her. It matters because she saved all the people on the mission with her at the cost of her life. To see this shine in today's world means to understand the great sacrifice Hannah Senesh made for the sake of others.
October 27th, 1938. I don't know whether I've already mentioned that I've become a Zionist. I now consciously and strongly feel I'm a Jew, and I am proud of it. My primary aim is to go to Palestine, to work for it.
One needs something to believe in, something for which one can have wholehearted enthusiasm. One needs to feel that one's life has meaning. That one is needed in this world. Zionism fulfills all this for me.
In sixth grade Judaic studies, each class created a large-scale timeline of the history of Zionism, Israel, and World War II using primary and secondary sources. For our writing project, we used this timeline to examine the broader historical contexts of Hannah's poetry and diary entries.
The reason I picked the diary entry about Hannah's experience with the Literary Society is because it is really powerful, even though it's something as small as a class election. Hannah Senesh was elected for office, but the Literary Society still wanted a new election just because she was Jewish. During this time, anti-Semitism was starting to rise, and Hitler was elected to power just a few years earlier. Even though the Nazis hadn't invaded Hungary yet, there was still a lot of anti-Semitism there. The Literary Society didn't want Hannah Senesh simply because she was Jewish. It probably was hurtful and confusing to experience this style of anti-Semitism. Hannah Senesh deserved to be in that literary society. Today, there is still a lot of anti-Semitism. I feel lucky that I go to a Jewish day school so I don't have to face anything like Hannah did. I learned from Hannah Senesh's diary entry that anti-Semitism has been around for a long time and can have lasting consequences in a person's life.
How would you feel if you were a 17-year-old Jew living in Hungary during a period of time of extreme persecution against your people? I know that I would feel very confused and would have lots of questions. That was how Hannah Senesh felt when she wrote this diary entry on September 17th, 1938. We're living through indescribably tense days. The question is, will there be war? During this time, the Nazis were becoming more and more extreme. In November 1938, just after Senesh wrote this entry, the devastating Night of Broken Glass, or Kristallnacht, occurred. This was the same year that Senesh became a Zionist, possibly in reaction to these terrible acts of anti-Semitism. If I were Hannah Senesh at this time, I would feel very anxious, frightened, and powerless. Being 17, only a child in a world full of corrupt and hateful adults. I would feel like I would have to do something about it, which puts a lot of pressure on a young person. Today, many actions are being taken to try and rip Jews from our culture and our country. On October 7th, 2023, many of the world's Jews were devastated by an attack on South Israel. Though what is happening in Israel is nothing like what was happening to the Jews in 1938, these two events both include a group that would like for Jews not to be where they are, in Israel or in Germany. I think that we can learn that bad things happen in the world, but there are always people who stand up to oppression and resist.
The following year, Hannah left her mother and brother and made Aliyah to Israel, which was then called Palestine. She was 17. In Palestine, Hannah went to agricultural school to learn to farm. Though Hannah loved being in Palestine, life was very difficult, and she missed her family very much. Hannah graduated from agricultural school and joined a new kibbutz near the Mediterranean Sea called Sdot Yam.
Meanwhile, things were getting worse and worse for the Jews in Europe. Hannah was worried about her mother and the Jews of Hungary.
In 1943, she volunteered for a secret rescue mission to Europe.
Before leaving Palestine, Hannah wrote this poem called At the Crossroads. At the crossroads, a voice called, I went. I went for it called. I went lest I fall. At the crossroads, I blocked both ears with white frost and cried for what I had lost.
בדרך, קול קרא והלכתי. הלכתי כי קרא הקול. הלכתי לבל אפול, אך על פרשת דרכים. סתמתי אוזניי בלובן הקר, ובכיתי, כי איבדתי דבר.
Hannah parachuted into Yugoslavia, where she fought against the Nazis. She crossed the border into Hungary to try and save the Jews. When she was caught by the Hungarian police, she did not reveal any information.
In 7th grade, we wrote about difficult choices Hannah faced in her life. We can learn a lot about Hannah from her choices.
Hannah Senesh had to make many difficult decisions in her life. One of the decisions was going to live on a kibbutz where everyone knew her and she didn't have to do much work, or living on a new kibbutz where no one knew her and she had to work more. In the end, she chose the new one where nobody knew her. From this choice, we learned that she is always up for a challenge and likes to try new things and meet new people. I'm like Hannah because she overthinks, and I definitely overthink everything. I'm not like Hannah because she is constantly faced with hard decisions and she is extremely brave. This teaches me that I am very lucky that I don't have very difficult decisions to make. At the end of her life, Hannah thought that she had failed. I think that she didn't fail because she protected the radio code information, and she probably made the Jews feel a sense of hope because they knew at least one person tried to come and help save them. Her story has impacted the world because it teaches us that we need to be brave and stay strong even in the hardest times.
Throughout her life, Hannah Senesh continuously faced difficult choices and chose the options that would bring her life meaning. For example, Hannah was faced with the choice of attending school in Hungary, where her Judaism would be frowned upon, or traveling to Palestine, where she could more easily achieve her Zionist dreams. Hannah chose to travel to Palestine because she did not want to be looked down upon for her beliefs. This choice, and all of the others Hannah made, showed that rather than choosing the path that would bring her the most happiness, Hannah preferred to consider which paths would lead her to have a positive effect on the world. Hannah and her difficult choices teach us that happiness is not nearly as important as meaning. When she reached the end of her life, Hannah believed that she had failed, wasted her life, and made the wrong choices. However, I believe that Hannah did not fail. Hannah wanted her life to matter. She wanted to make the world a better place and aid the causes she believed in, and she did this. Today, Hannah is regarded as a hero, which would make her think twice about her life. She has an entire school named after her, so clearly she was important enough to remember.
In prison, Hannah made dolls out of scraps of paper for the children and told everyone she met about how wonderful life was in Palestine. Hannah was 23 years old when she died.
In 8th grade, we thought about how 9 years of learning about Hannah Senesh has impacted the people we are today.
During a time when Jews were looked down on, Hannah Senesh declared, "I now consciously and strongly feel I am a Jew, and I am proud of it." This made an impact on me because it showed me that an identity is not only what you see yourself as, but something other people see too. Hannah Senesh was proud, which gave her her own ability to resist. Her confidence gave her power that spread throughout all Jews, providing hope in a difficult time. She also was never afraid to sacrifice her own life to save another. Parachuting with a high risk of death to save her mom took bravery and perseverance, values I live to embody. Lastly, Hannah Senesh was not worried about the consequences that she might face for being herself. After 9 years of learning about Hannah Senesh, she has inspired me to not be afraid of who I am.
בכיתה למדנו על השיר של חנה סנש, הליכה לקיסריה, שכתבה בזמן שגרה בקיבוץ שדות ים. עבורי, משמעות השיר לא השתנתה אחרי ה-7 באוקטובר, אלא נהייתה יותר עמוקה ויותר רלוונטית לחיים שלנו כהיום. בשיר, חנה מבקשת שתפילת האדם לא תיגמר לעולם. אני חושבת, משמעות התפילה עבור חנה הייתה האחדות של עם ישראל, שתישמר לנצח. במשפט הזה יש לדעתי מסר נסתר. חנה מקווה שתפילת העם היהודי, אלי אלי, תימשך לעד, ובכך ישמרו הדברים החשובים באמת. לאחר אירועי אוקטובר 7, תפילות העם היהודי בכל מקום בעולם הפכו לכל אחד, בקריאה חזקה למען שחרור החטופים. בן אדם יכול לרצות מיליון דברים, אבל כשלוקחים לו את החופש, הוא רוצה רק דבר אחד. In our Heritage Hebrew class, we learned about Hannah Sanish's poem, Walk to Caesarea or Eli Eli. In my opinion, the meaning of the song hasn't changed after the 7th of October. Its meaning has become deeper and more relevant to us today. There is a hidden message in the line, Tfilat Adam, or the prayer of the heart. Hannah hopes the unity of Israel will preserve and will not be extinguished by hate. After the 7th of October, this sentence has become more relevant. The prayers of our nation have joined as one voice as we call for the return of our hostages. A free man wants a million things, but when someone's freedom is taken away, they only want one thing.
לפי דעתי, השיר "הליכה לקיסריה" מאת חנה סנש מקבל משמעות שונה בעקבות אירועי השביעי באוקטובר. בשיר, חנה מדברת על היופי שבפשטות החיים, על היופי של הטבע, על החול והים, רשרוש של המים ועל ברק השמיים. חנה מתפללת שהיופי הזה, הכל כך מובן מאליו עבורנו, לא ייגמר לעולם. In my opinion, the poem "הליכה לקיסריה" has changed meaning since the 7th of October. In this poem, Hannah speaks about the beauty and simplicity of life and nature, about the sand and the sea, the rush of the water and the crash of the heavens. Hannah prays that this beauty that we take for granted will never end.
אחרי ה-7 באוקטובר, להרבה אנשים בישראל, היופי המיוחד הזה נעלם. להרבה אנשים שחיו את שגרת חייהם, שלקום ליום שבת בבוקר לשקט, רוגע, משפחה וחברים. כל השקט הזה נעלם בן רגע. הרבה אנשים בישראל נפגעו נפשית וגופנית, וכל המובן מאליו הזה נעלם. לכאן, כל בוקר, אנחנו צריכים להעריך את השגרה, חיים, את אותם הרגעים הקטנים של החיים, את שגרה המבורכת. After the 7th of October, this beauty was disappeared for many people. The daily routine of waking up to Shabbat, of quiet, calm family and friends disappeared in only a moment. Many Israelis were impacted mentally and physically. Because of this, every morning we need to remember that even the smallest moments in our daily routine are a blessing.
Okay, we're going to hear from kindergarten now. So we heard from our oldest, now our youngest. Oh, you can applaud. We are very fortunate to have our 7th and 8th grade Senesh band lead us to end our Tekes with Hatifa. Please rise silently. Okay, thank you. Wow. So we're going to try to leave the room calmly. Landon is going to start us on singing Eli Eli as a nigun. So you can just hum along or sing Nai Nai. Or we can sing the words. Lam kita baging